You literally stepped into my shoes.
Literally stepped into your shoes. That means I'm in charge of your daughter now? Cool. I'm okay with it.
There's just so much ick to unpack here. So much happening between Caleb and Maddie's marriage, and then whatever is going on with Tommy and Mykelti. Caleb, in particular, has had multiple on-camera moments, definitely more than a couple, where he makes it clear he expects Maddie to be a baby factory, churning out kid after kid. The ick factor was already high, but then he kept saying this even after their second child was born with special needs. At that point, it went from just cringy to outright gross. The man gives off serious breeding fetish energy, and frankly, I'm uncomfortable. That's why Maddie's response, telling him he's welcome to birth the children himself, always makes me laugh. Because seriously, the audacity of broadcasting to the world that you're just going to keep impregnating your wife, whether she's on board or not, and acting like it's some quirky joke, yikes. And look, I know it's an unpopular take, but I actually do think they have a functional and loving marriage. That said, the fundamentalist undertones? Hard to ignore. As for Caleb's little joke to Maddie's father, yeah, no. Even if he was joking, which sure, let's be charitable, if I were with a man who said something like that to my dad, the relationship would be over. Full stop. What exactly is the punchline here? That women have historically been treated as property with no control over their own bodies? Hilarious. I could be totally off base. I haven't rewatched this clip recently, but even giving him the benefit of the doubt, the best case scenario is that it was a terrible joke. And while I don't think Caleb is a complete monster, he's definitely not winning me over anytime soon. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. The fame Robyn desperately wanted, Christine has it. The irony is almost too good. Robyn only joined the family because they were doing a show. She wanted money and recognition. Now, she's the laughingstock of reality TV, hiding away in the mess she created, too afraid to even do press for the show she helped orchestrate. Meanwhile, Christine, she's thriving. Recently named one of the most powerful women in reality TV, married to a millionaire, adored by fans, running her own TLC YouTube show, and actually capitalizing on the platform. She does press with all the major outlets and is building a personal brand. And Robyn, oh, she's probably seething. Stuck with Cody, universally disliked, and ridiculed at every turn. She doesn't even get the perks of the show anymore, just a regular paycheck for now. But even that comes at the cost of hiding from the world, too scared to do interviews because she knows exactly what people would say. Robyn and Cody, absolute cowards. Flashback to season 1. Robyn wistfully hoped she'd become a vital member of the family, someone whose absence would be deeply felt. The problem? The family had been solid long before she arrived. Christine and the kids were the heart of it. Instead of embracing her role as a new addition, bringing something unique, Robyn tried to replace the core with her own version. And when the kids made it crystal clear they wanted no part of it, she had the audacity to call them a cheap version of a family. Delusional much? She sees herself as sweet, selfless, and charming, a beloved mom and grandma. The reality? That's Christine. Robyn, on the other hand, is an envious, miserable wreck. People can debate all day about whether Christine's husband is a millionaire, but here's what actually matters. He has a stable, successful business. He provides a comfortable life. No trailers, no mountains of debt. Christine is better off in every possible way. Robyn never grasped the meaning of words like charisma, magnetism, emotional intelligence, or actual empathy, the very traits that made Christine the heart of the family and ultimately an engaging TV personality. Christine has presence. Sure, not everyone loves her, but she's undeniably compelling. Robyn, she thought being younger and, in her mind, prettier made her the main character, the leading lady, the one everyone would love. But instead, the real star, the one fans gravitate toward, is Christine. A woman with stretch marks and wrinkles. And that must be driving Robyn absolutely insane. Because the truth is, Robyn never learned how to grow up. And now, she's stuck in a nightmare of her own making. Christine, breathy, I just watched the interview with Janelle and Christine. And I usually like Christine, but wow, she was on a mission. Maybe it was nerves, but she absolutely would not let Janelle talk. Every time Janelle tried to answer a question, Christine would swoop in, talking over her, interrupting mid-thought. It was Christine, Christine, Christine. You could actually see Janelle patiently waiting for her turn, and when she finally got a moment to speak, boom, interrupted again. As a viewer, I was totally annoyed. I can only imagine how Janelle feels. I like them both, but seriously, take turns, children. Exactly. I really wanted to hear Janelle's thoughts too. She's always gracious about it, often saying she doesn't mind others talking more unless she has something specific to add. But come on, she still deserves space to share her perspective. Let her take a breath, process her thoughts. She doesn't need someone jumping in to fill every pause. Christine, on the other hand, is like a shaken-up soda can. The energy just bursts out of her. She gets so hyped that she jumps into the conversation the second a thought pops into her head. And can we talk about the way she repeats herself? She repeats herself. Then she says the same thing slowly, adding dramatic pauses for emphasis. And then, just in case we missed it, rephrases it even slower. It's exhausting. Before anyone comes for me, let's be clear, I am thrilled for her and her new life. I'm just commenting on the fact that she talks like a looping voice memo. Honestly, she reminds me of someone who just went to their first music festival and accidentally took ecstasy. This is amazing. Have you seen the sky? Wow, this music makes me feel. She's basically reliving her teens and 20s for the first time, unfiltered, unrestrained, and all in. At some point, the high will wear off, and she'll probably land somewhere between ecstatic and meh. But honestly, after everything she's been through, if she wants to do cartwheels in the front yard for entertainment, let her. Janelle, though, she's just steady, consistent. The calm to Christine's chaos. And she's smart. She knows Christine has her quirks, but she also values the long-term family bond they share. No one is perfect, but if one of them is the adult in the room, we know who it is. Yes, Meri, forever getting the short end of the stick. Am I the only one who's tired of the Janelle and Christine show and their never-ending media spectacle? Don't get me wrong, it's great that they're besties now, living their best lives. But let's not pretend that for 30 years they weren't locked in a fundamentalist cage match, tearing each other down at every opportunity. And yet, here they are, conveniently acting like the only ones covered in mud are Cody and Robyn, which, okay, fair. But what about Meri? Oh no, she wasn't part of the real family, right? According to them, she was the only one playing dirty in this fundy deathmatch, the lone villain in their perfectly revised history. Meanwhile, Janelle wants us to forget she married into this family and wasn't just some innocent bystander. While Christine fought tooth and nail as a teenager to snatch up Meri's husband, objections be damned. And then we have Christine whispering in her most dramatic voice. My Keltie doesn't want contact with everyone in the family, as if she has no idea why. Sure, Christine, it's a mystery. It's not like my Keltie is out here stirring the pot with half-truths she conveniently learned from someone inside the family. But hey, it's totally normal for someone to demand that everyone else stay in contact, except for herself, of course. The best part? These two act like they were the only people in this family, while still making it crystal clear that Meri is irrelevant because, oh no, she only had one kid. Let's also just gloss over the fact that all of them were guilty of backstabbing, plotting, and generally making each other's lives miserable. But sure, let's keep pretending Meri was the evil mastermind of it all. I'm all for Christine and Janelle's new friendship and self-discovery tour, but let's not ignore the revisionist history. The way they erase their own culpability, while somehow pinning all their bad parenting choices on Meri, is ridiculous. What's next? The reason their kids didn't have food was also Meri's fault. Let's be real. Until Vegas, they all lived together and ate together. Are we really supposed to believe that Meri was secretly serving Leon steak while handing Mykelti stale bread at the same kitchen table? If Meri and Leon ate steak, it was in Vegas, by which time nobody was eating stale bread, thanks to that sweet TLC money. And if Christine was prioritizing new laptops and couches over steak, well, that's between her and Mykelti. Was Meri difficult to live with? Probably, but let's not pretend that Janelle and Christine were rays of sunshine either. Grocery money should have been pooled and divided fairly, common sense, people. It would be so refreshing if these two could just own up to their part in this hot mess, instead of pretending Meri was the barren villain some of their attention-starved kids now make her out to be. Funny how Meri is only useful when it's time to ask for money or free organizational skills at a wedding, huh? Maybe Meri doesn't want to do interviews. Maybe she's just living her life. Honestly, she's been disconnected from the family for years, showing up just enough to film. Christine, on the other hand, loves the attention, but Meri, she's always been more private. We don't know the full story. Maybe Meri has been offered interviews and turned them down. If she wanted to spill the tea, trust me, ET would be all over it, and they'd pay handsomely. But why are we acting like Meri isn't a grown woman, fully capable of speaking up if she wanted to? She has businesses to run. She doesn't need to live off media drama like some people, cough. Honestly, I think Meri's best revenge is just thriving, not worrying about what chips are still sitting on her former sister wives' shoulders. At the end of the day, there's so much we'll never know about what happened behind the scenes. Meri was never close with Janelle or Christine. They tolerated each other because they were married into the same mess. And let's be real, Robyn isn't Meri's friend either, outside of the reality TV storyline. Maybe Meri doesn't care. Maybe she doesn't want to be friends with Christine and Janelle. Maybe she actually hates these people, totally possible. We keep assuming she wants a seat at their table, but honestly, I think she's just fine being as far away from them as possible. Backlash over Cody's confession. So the Sister Wives fandom is currently in flames over the latest tell-all clip, where Cody finally admits what we've all known for years. He was never in love with any of the OG3 the way he was with Robyn. And honestly, it's about time. We've spent 18 seasons watching him aggressively deny that Robyn was the favorite, literally as recently as last season. His whole "I felt equally in love with all my wives" routine was the ultimate gaslight. But now that he's actually saying what we've all suspected, people are accusing him of lying or worse, just trying to hurt his ex-wives. But let's be real, Cody married 3 women he barely knew, like 6 months max, because they wanted to join his family back when he was the hot new thing in their religious community. Of course, he didn't love them when they got married. He didn't even know them. Did he eventually grow to care about them? Sure, the same way you grow to love your randomly assigned college roommate. You didn't choose them, but hey, you shared space, had some good times, and built a bond. But caring for someone is wildly different from being in love with them, and Cody is either just now realizing that or just now admitting it. The real kicker? The person who's going to hate this revelation the most is Robyn. Because in admitting that she was the only one he truly loved, he's also admitting that she destroyed the family. It completely undermines her sobfest about how the other wives just needed to try harder. Personally, I find it delicious. That said, I still think Cody's full of it. It's not that he never loved them, it's that he doesn't want to admit he did. A decent person would have said something like, "I loved them back then, in the only way I understood love at the time." But our lives changed, and when I met Robyn, I realized what love truly meant for me. Boom. Honest, respectful, done. But that would require Cody to have an ounce of emotional intelligence. Instead, he'd rather rewrite history to protect his ego. The man is obsessed with his image. He's spent years flipping the narrative to make Christine, Janelle, and Meri look like the bad guys for leaving him. He didn't even want Meri to announce their divorce because it meant publicly admitting he lost 3 wives. So now his, well, I never loved them anyway shtick is really just a way of framing himself as the noble martyr. See, I was so good to them, even though I didn't love them, and this is how they repay me. To be clear, I don't think Cody has the emotional capacity for real love, not even for Robyn. I think he was infatuated with her, and now they're just codependent. But there's plenty of evidence over the years that he at least experienced fondness, attraction, and playfulness with all his wives. The problem? He's toxic as hell. Cody thrives on triangulating relationships, romantic or otherwise. He love bombs, then withdraws affection. He pits people against each other. He dangles comparisons to manipulate his wives into compliance. Robyn is the last one standing, which means her turn is coming. If this show lasted long enough, we'd see him pull the same stunts on her that he did with the OG3. Eventually, he'd devalue her too. And when that happens, he'll go straight for the thing that would wound her the most. My money? He'll say something like, I should have known better than to get involved with a divorced mom who never truly lived polygamy. Robyn said she wanted to grow old with sister wives, but she pushed everyone away, even my kids. And for once, he wouldn't be wrong. Honestly, I'm glad he's finally speaking his truth. What's frustrating is that he won't go on camera, sit across from each of his ex-wives, and just own it. Imagine if he said, I was naive, I was misled by my faith, I didn't love you the way you deserved, and I am sorry. But we built something beautiful together. You're all searching for happiness now, just like I found mine. Can we appreciate what we had? Can you forgive me? That would be closure. That would be growth. Instead, he's demanding his children bow down to his favored wife while throwing tantrums at everyone else over his failures. And that's just classic Cody. Trouble in paradise? If Cody truly found the love of his life and is now free to shower her with 100% of his devotion, without the burden of pretending to love his other wives, then why isn't he radiating pure bliss? Shouldn't he be overflowing with joy, unable to contain his happiness? Instead, he's insufferably bitter, lashing out with the nastiest remarks about the very women who built his world. What could he possibly gain from dragging the mothers of his children through the mud instead of being, oh, I don't know, grateful? After all, wasn't it that big, loving family that drew Robyn in to begin with? That same family dynamic helped him secure his so-called soulmate, so why isn't being with her enough to satisfy him? Why do both of them look so miserable? Because Cody didn't just want freedom to love only Robyn. He wanted to keep everyone else in their designated roles, funding his lifestyle while worshiping at the altar of his ego. Watching them walk away instead of falling in line was a narcissistic injury he never saw coming. In his mind, he had every right to use and discard them, but for them to leave him? Unacceptable. It shatters his delusional belief that he is some kind of divine gift they were lucky to have. At least he told the truth once when he said, "It's all ego, baby." That, and the fact that his biggest fear is poverty, because the way he's scrambling to squeeze last-minute cash out of every departing wife is nothing short of desperate. For all his arrogance, the man is terrible with money, and it shows. He's not scared of losing love. He's terrified of losing a single penny. Hate consumes him, and you can't just flip a switch from seething resentment to pure happiness. If I were Robyn, and to be clear, a normal, self-respecting wife, I'd be running for the hills after witnessing how he treats women once they're no longer of use to him. The fact that she stays after everything he's done and everything that's been exposed says far more about her than it does about him. And then there's the cherry on top. Cody, blindsided yet again, actually thought that after the wives left, his home with Robyn would become the heart of the family, the epicenter where kids and grandkids gathered, while the ex-wives sat on the sidelines, feeling left out. But reality had other plans. Instead, Christine and Janelle, despite lacking a mansion, have become the real nucleus of the family. Their kids, grandkids, and loved ones meet up at Ehrman's, making memories without him. And Cody and Robyn, they're the outsiders now. Oh, the irony. People love to talk about Meri breaking up with Cody at the picnic table, but no offense, that's not what was happening. By that point, Cody had already dumped Meri multiple times. She just finally got the memo. That whole scene, that was Meri dumping Robyn. Cody was really just there for decoration, and of course, to make a complete ass of himself. I propose we forever refer to this moment as the episode where Meri takes a great big stinking dump on Robyn. Any seconds. For years, Meri played by the rules. Cody never officially ended things with her because, deep down, he still clung to the belief that breaking an eternal covenant meant risking his afterlife. That's why he spent years hinting, nudging, and practically shoving Meri toward the exit, but never actually saying, "I want a divorce." Meri knew exactly what was happening, but she also knew how to win. The moment Cody finally said on camera, "I don't consider myself married," that was it. Game over. He broke the covenant. He did what he had refused to do for years. Of course, he still tried to spin it. "I'm willing to fake it. I'm not leaving. You're leaving because I can't give you what you want." Classic Cody move, turning himself into the poor, helpless victim. And Meri? She made sure Robyn got the message loud and clear. Cody did break the covenant. He did have this conversation with her privately. And now, oh dear, Robyn might be spiritually screwed too. Mic drop. In the end, Meri and Cody were playing an intense game of relationship chicken, each waiting for the other to make the first move. Even without romance or intimacy, Meri was still technically his spiritual wife, still part of the family. But the second Cody admitted he didn't see her as his wife, that was all she needed. And you better believe she made sure he said it in front of Robyn. Let's not forget how Robyn got here in the first place. She swooped into Meri's life, pretending to be her ally, only to steal her husband, get him to legally divorce her, set her up to be catfished, take her money, and funnel it straight into her own family. And now she wants to know if they can still be friends, which, let's be honest, is probably just code for, "Can I still have access to your wallet?" The unmitigated gall is truly something to behold. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.